Good morning, good afternoon, and hello, guys. Welcome. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Hope you're all doing well. I got caught up in the music and forgot to unmute myself. Hey, guys. Let's see who is here. We have got both Bash brothers. We've got Mark and Chris. Hello, guys. Good morning. We've got Rookie Critic. Good morning to you. Good to see you. We have got number one. Good morning, Keely Chow. Roll Tide, Keely. Good to see you. Let's see who else we've got. Deepbud Martin. Hello, love. Good morning, Southern Cecil. Good morning to you too. Hope you're doing well. Manowar 665. Neighbor of the Beast. Hello, love. Good to see you. Let's see who else has joined. I know I saw Leia Rose earlier. Hello, Leia. Good to see you, honey. Gun Bunny. Hey, sweetheart. Good morning. We have got Psychodwarf 9. Good to see you. Good morning, love. Hope the coffee is keeping you going this morning. I know I needed it today. And good afternoon to the Down Zone. Hey, good to see you guys. Hope everyone's doing well today. We are into December. It's going quick, as I thought it would do. Not long now until Christmas, so I hope everyone's getting their Christmas shopping done. I've just sent out a load of Christmas cards to everybody, so hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next few days you'll be getting those. Everyone's just kind of getting in that Christmassy mood, isn't it? And I love it. Hope everyone's doing well. And just as a side note, I know everyone's talking about it at the moment, but Santa Inc., it's still funny. It's never not going to be funny how badly received that terrible show has been. So it's still making me smile to see it. But we have got a lot to talk about today. So I was going through different stories today. I was thinking, what can I talk about? What's happening in the news? So I picked out about half a dozen stories that I thought we'd go over. But before we do, I do have something that I kind of wanted to talk about. It is sad, but it is something I think that's important as well. This comes in as of last night. Edward James, the last surviving officer from Easy Company, who was betrayed by Joseph May in HBO's Band of Brothers, has sadly passed away. Now, the gentleman was 99, so he had a long life, but it is very sad to see yet another one of our World War II veterans and heroes pass. But I thought we'd just talk a little bit about him and, about what he did. So this article says the real-life Band of Brothers soldier Edward James has passed away at the age of 99. The HBO miniseries aired in 2001 and chronicled the true story of American soldiers who fought during the Second World War. Miniseries was produced by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks and earned numerous awards at the time of its debut. Now, guys, if you remember, only a short while ago, we had a lot of channels come together to celebrate Band of Brothers, to do the reviews for all the episodes for its anniversary. It was a fantastic thing to be a part of. I really enjoyed it. And it's something that was very important, I think, especially as our veterans get older and they kind of pass out of memory. So it goes on to say, the last of the Band of Brothers officers has finally passed away. As per a report from Deadline, Edward James died on Friday at his home. He was 99 at the time of his passing. James was the last surviving officer from Easy Company, leaving Bradford Freeman as the final surviving member of the company. Edward James was one of the many soldiers depicted throughout the Band of Brothers miniseries. He was portrayed by Joseph May. He participated in several different combat theatres, which included the D-Day jump into Normandy, Operation Market Garden. He fought in the Battle of the Bulge, and he even helped liberate concentration camps towards the end of the war. He was portrayed by Joseph May in the series. James was shown to be a good officer, but an intense one, prone to shouting at his men. Anyone who's seen the series will know exactly what they mean by that. In addition to his portrayal by May in Band of Brothers, James also provided numerous interviews about his experience of World War II in the years since his service ended. He began his service as a private, but it would eventually rise through the ranks to retire as a colonel at the end of his career. Following his time in World War II, he served at the National Security Agency as well. The passing of Edward serves as a stark reminder that the World War II is getting further and further away in our collective memory. Series like Band of Brothers and various games, such as Call of Duty, keep World War II alive as a concept, but the number of real-life men and women who've served in the conflict is dwindling. With that in mind, it remains arguably incredibly important for audiences to take advantage of the stories told by properties like Band of Brothers and Saving Private Ryan in order to remember these events. For now, audiences can still catch Joseph May's portrayal of James in Band of Brothers, which is available on streaming. So I just thought I would bring it up and just I think it's worth remembering him as well. And Man of War says, Kurahi! Absolutely. And good day, Ed Dager. Good morning to you. Gilly Chow says, rest in peace. Absolutely. Thank you. The Darren Zone says, I'm in a Christmassy mood. I've got my Bar Humbug mug back out for the season. Nice. I've got a sparkly Christmas hat, very similar to the one that the Avatar's wearing, which I'll probably be wearing on various streams the closer we get to Christmas as well. And hello to Captain James T. Skywalker. It says, have to get ready for work, but had to hear Purple's voice for a moment. Well, you have a good day, honey. Hope you have a great Monday and it goes fast for you. So, yep, just thought I would bring that up. And Paris, good morning, says, Purple Valkyrie, Mexican Ironman started plans this week to this weekend for the March Pacific 10th anniversary stream. Okay, that sounds cool. Like I say, Band of Brothers was a big success, so I think that will be just as well received. So thank you, Pat. So let me bring up one of the other things that I wanted to talk about today. Now, we've talked in the past about Morbius. I'm actually pretty excited for the film. I'm just hoping that it's going to be a fun film. I don't think it's going to be anything spectacular, but I think it's going to be on par with probably the first Venom film. At least that's what I get the feeling for. So let me bring this up. There we go. So this is from Deadline. As you can see, Morbius unveils the new exclusive scene and characters poster and still. Now, I'm not going to bother playing the scene because whenever I do play something from this, we always get hit for it, but that's okay. But we can have a look at the poster instead. So it says Columbia Pictures dropped a new scene, character poster, and still for Morbius. In the scene, Dr. Michael Morbius undergoes an experimental treatment for a rare blood disorder when things start to go haywire. I think that's a scene that we've had in the trailers before, so it might be extended, I'm guessing. Directed by Daniel Espinosa, Morbius features Academy Award winner Jared Leto as the enigmatic anti-hero Michael Morbius. Dangerously ill and determined to save others suffering the same fate, Dr. Morbius attempts a desperate gamble. While at first it seems to be a radical success, a darkness inside him is unleashed. Will good override evil, or will Morbius succumb to his mysterious new urges? I'm really hoping that this is a good film. So this is coming from Sony Pictures, and they really seem to be pushing this whole Sinister Six. They're really trying to tie in this kind of Spider-Verse. So we've got the Spider-Man films that are coming out, we've got the Venom films that are already out, and now we've got Morbius as well. And they all seem to be trying to get this under one big umbrella that Marvel has done before. Let's have a look. The upcoming installment of the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters set to release in theatres on January 28th, 2022. That's cool. The story and screenplay are based on Marvel Comics by Matt Sazama and Burke Sharpless, and stars, in addition to Leto, Matt Smith, Ariana Ajana, Jared Harris, El Madrigal, and Tyrese Gibson. Cool. The film was produced by Avi Arad and extras. But this is the poster that they've released. I think it's pretty cool. A lot of people have said, and I think it's mentioned down below as well, this is very, very, very similar to the Venom poster that was released as well. It's got that kind of half look to the face, but I think that's pretty cool. I like it. I think they could do pretty well with this if they market it properly. And I do like the look of him. I think they've worked pretty hard with the character, I've got to admit. But as posters go, at least it's a lot more interesting than the Spider-Man one that we had, which I've got to admit, when I first saw it, I thought it was a fan kind of mock-up. Not to take anything away from the fans, but it just didn't look like a official poster. But this one looks much better. And again, very much like the Venom poster that came before it with Tom Hardy. And hello to D-Bird Martin. He says, I've recently reread all of the early Morbius stories from the 1970s. I'm actually interested in seeing what they do with this. I am as well, because this is one of those characters that people remember, but I don't think they read them as much as you did, probably, D-Bird. Most people will remember Morbius from the animated Spider-Man cartoon, for example. Psychodraw says, I want Morbius to be good. Me too. I just want it to be fun. We've had a couple of really good films come out recently, you know, that people could get behind and really enjoy. So if this can be one of those films, then all the better. I'm a little bit skeptical when it comes to the next Spider-Man film. I think it's going to be a lot of nostalgia baiting. I like Tom Holland. I think he's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. I think he's, you know, good as Spider-Man, or, you know, Spider-Boy, as I always think of him. But I think this film is going to be all about, you know, it's going to be pressing the buttons for the fans for the Spider-Man films that came before it. Man of War 665, commend them for rolling out the mothballs when an obscure character like Morbius. However, being produced in current day tends to make me want to head to the nearest wall outlets with a metal fork. They're going a little bit, you know, further away from the more mainstream characters, mainly because they have to. I think it was last week or the week before I talked about how we're getting a special for Werewolf by Night, which is I didn't think it was going to happen, but we'll see if it's any good. I don't think it's a series, if I remember correctly. I think it's a standalone special, but we'll see. And good morning to Supreme Heretic. Hello, Drew. He says, wonderful. Good morning, wonderful lady, the Purple Valkyrie. Good morning to you too, Drew. Hope you're doing well today, sweetheart. So what do you think, guys? Do you think this is a film that's going to be fun? Do you think it's one that you're looking forward to? Or do you think it's just going to be a kind of tie-in to the next films that go? I know the Carnage Venom film that came out, a lot of people liked, even though you would have thought it would have been more popular. It just kind of came and went. And to be honest, I will put my hands up. I haven't even watched it yet. I heard mixed things about it. I will watch it eventually. But we'll see. But I hope it's good. And I don't dislike Jared Leto. I didn't like him as the Joker. Not because of what he did, but you know, I don't think he had much to work with, to be honest. And hello and good morning, Sentient Dildo. Good to see you as well. Psycho Dwarf says at least they're figuring how to stop rebooting Batman. You'd think that, but yes, one of the stories coming up is actually Batman centric, so we'll see that in a second. Chris Persia says, if Marvel gives us a Werewolf by Night series, how long before Sony gives us a Man-Wolf movie? Yes, we will see. I like Werewolf by Night. I think he's a good character, but it's not the one that would have been most obvious. It's the second character under the same name, not Jack Russell. But we will see with Morbius. And we've also had confirmation today that Charlie Cox is going to be back. He is the Daredevil for the MCU, which I think doesn't really come as a surprise to anybody, even though they were trying to downplay it. And I think Cox himself said at one point, "No, I'm not going to be in the MCU. You know, Daredevil's not going to be in it." But wasn't really fooling anybody, to be honest, because he's been such a popular character. We kind of knew that he was going to be coming back, so not exactly a massive surprise to everybody. Supreme Heretic says, I think Morbius is intriguing myself, although I must admit Hollywood's handling of Marvel is not going to get any better anytime soon. I'd agree. I think that's more to do with Disney. I think the Sony side seem to be doing okay. But we've talked about it in the past. Phase 4 just hasn't really resonated with the audiences thus far. Now, whether the new Spider-Man film will, or whether when we eventually get Doctor Strange, whether those films will kind of kick it into gear, we'll see. But having all of their films pushed back, I think, has really hurt them. Let's see. Mark says, how far off is a Man-Thing and Tomb of Dracula? Man-Thing actually makes sense with what's going on with all the dimension hopping. To be honest, I could probably see Man-Thing coming out. Tomb of Dracula, probably not, unless they did it as like a tie-in, perhaps. But they really do have a lot of characters that they can delve into. But these are characters, like we say, that aren't the kind of A team. You know, they're not your Spider-Man, your Captain America, your Iron Man. These are characters that are, you know, down the roster, let's say. And Chris says, but will Charlie wear the Daredevil outfit, or is he still going to be wearing sweatpants? Well, if it's him in the trailer that we saw, he's wearing his white shirt, but I would imagine he's going to be back in the costume, and that would be pretty awesome. Good morning, TZ Canadian. Hope your weekend was great. He said it was good. I was quite busy. I was putting up all of the remaining Christmas decorations and kind of getting ready. Suprema Heretic says, if only they could have done all of this in the 80s or 90s. Yeah, I could have seen it. But if they'd started it in the 80s or 90s, do you think that we would really be burned out on superheroes now? Because we seem to be having that superhero fatigue when it comes to films. So we'll see. But we did have some great films in the 80s and 90s. And Andy Masterson, hey, good to see you. He says, Man-Thing is tough. His supporting cast is vital. That I would agree with. Yeah, absolutely. So let me take that down. There we go. And Chris, I think it was talking about, or we were talking about the chat just about having too much Batman reboots. Well, apparently we're getting more Batman animated series. Now, don't get too excited because this is a new audio drama apparently, but this is from Screen Rant. Batman, the animated series original cast returning for new audio drama. Now, I was quite excited when I see this because you guys know how much of a fan I am of the Batman animated series. I absolutely love it. It is probably my favorite cartoon of all time. I love the cast. I love the art style. You know, I love the writing. I love the music. It is just one of those shows that was brilliantly done. Justice League was great as well. You know, the Superman animated series was a lot of fun. Brave and the Bold I really enjoyed as well, but Batman the animated series is really head and shoulders above all the rest, at least for me. So let's see what they've got to say. DC is developing an audio drama within the universe of the 1990s Batman animated series. The original voice cast is expected to return, which is good news because you can't have Batman the animated series without Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill reprising their roles. The voice cast of the 1990s series will return to reprise their roles for an upcoming Batman animated audio drama. So the animated series first began airing on Fox Kids in 1992 and ran for 2 extended series through 95. Despite the TV station on which the show aired, the series has cultivated a cult following among older audiences and is today considered one of the most faithful adaptations of the Caped Crusader to date. The show also introduced many of the most crucial aspects of Batman lore, including Mr. Freeze's tragic backstory, as well as the first appearance of Harley Quinn. Batman had appeared in several animated projects prior to the animated series, but Kevin Conroy's portrayal of Batman was so iconic that in many ways it became the definitive animated incarnation of the character. That I would agree with. I love Kevin Conroy's take on the character. If I remember correctly, he was probably the first person to really differentiate between Batman and Bruce Wayne with his voice. And that really kind of cemented the character in people's minds. Conroy and many of his co-stars went on to voice their respective characters for decades after the series finale. First in other shows spinning out of the nascent DC animated universe, such as Justice League, and then in other mediums as well, such as the Batman Arkham video game franchise. Now, the cast is moving to the world of audio dramas with DC's newest Batman project. THR reports that the original cast of the series will star in a new audio drama. The series will serve as a direct continuation of the original animated series with Conroy and John Glover, who played the Riddler, who I loved his voice for the Riddler, by the way, confirmed to reprise their roles. At the time of writing, no other actors have been revealed, though it is highly likely that many others will return. Alan Burnett, who wrote the original show, is also expected to return as well. Now, that's a good sign, because it was Alan Bennett, it was Paul Dini, and God, got out of my head. They were the three that really brought these characters to life, and I'm very happy to see that he's back as well. The as of yet untitled audio drama isn't the first audio drama based on the Batman universe. Earlier this year, DC released Batman The Audio Adventures exclusively on HBO Max. That series, however, was more of a comedy, taking inspiration from the campy 1960s live-action Batman series with Adam West. If this new audio drama is indeed a proper follow-up to the 1990s series, audiences can expect it to be much darker in tone. Given Batman Beyond's status as the first official sequel to the animated series, it will be interesting to see whether or not the upcoming audio drama will incorporate aspects of that show's lore. However, given the fact that Batman Beyond takes place decades after the conclusion of the original, the writers could potentially ignore the sequel show without contradicting canon. In any case, the return of the original cast is cause for excitement alone. Hopefully, the audio drama will be a worthy successor to the lofty legacy of Batman the Animated Series. And hello to Abunas. Hello, sir. Good to see you and good morning. And hello to Project Storytime. Good to see you. Says hello all, passing through and hail. Can't stay. Family issues here. Have a great show, Purple. Thank you, sweetheart. You take care as well. Much love. And a massive, massive thank you and good morning to the president himself, Abu Nas. He says, "Good morning, my beloved Valkyrie. Sending love, hugs, and kisses your way. Unfortunately, I can't stay as I'm at work, but rock the spot for all of us. Love you. Love you too, Abu Nas. It's always, always a pleasure to see you. And I hope you have a fantastic day as well. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Oh my gosh. And hello to Wyatt Holiday. Says, "Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Wyatt. Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend." So what do you think, guys? Do you think that radio plays or audio dramas are a way to go? I like the idea, because really, if you think about it, that's kind of what the animated series was. That's how it was set up. We had all of the actors in the same room together, and it was basically an audio drama. They could play off each other. That's how they got such fantastic performances out of them. They could react to whatever the other actors were doing. That's why it works so well, I think. Let's see what you guys are saying. Mark says, "I want a Batman audio drama where he has to use the Justice League protocols." And that actually would be a pretty interesting idea. I'd quite like to see that as well. And hello, Shane Nolan. He says, "Hello, all. Good morning. Good to see you as well." Rogue Disney, hello and good morning to you too. Sentient Dildo says, "Will the audio drama include the Patterson Kravitz Batmobile encounter?" Probably not. Maybe that will be one of the extras that they can put on the DVD for when the Batman's released. Shane Nolan says, "Love audiobook dramas." I do too. Really starting to get back into kind of audiobook, so I think that would be pretty cool, to be honest, especially if it's done as like a series. That would be awesome. Like the radio plays that they used to do. I think that would be a really interesting way to do it, especially if they have a orchestra, because that was one of the big draws of the animated series. The music was so good. Let's see. Hello to Miss Martin Muses. Good to see you, honey. Gumbunny says, "I love audio dramas. Used to listen to them on long car rides." Me too. Love a good audiobook. Absolutely. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this. I like the idea, I've got to admit. I love that the original cast seems to be returning. I would imagine since Kevin Conroy is back, I don't think Mark Hamill would turn down the chance to do the Joker again, even though technically he was just voicing the Joker in the latest He-Man. Bless him. Mark says, "Kevin Conroy is the only person who should ever voice Batman. No one can touch him." I agree. He is the voice that I hear in my head whenever I read a Batman comic book. I like the other Batmans. I really liked Adam West. There was something endearing about his character, but for me, the definitive Batman voice, and as I said, Bruce Wayne voice, is done by Kevin Conroy. I was so happy that he came back to do the character in the Arkham Asylum games. It made all the difference to hear him again. Gumbunny says, "Check out graphic audio for good audiobooks." I will. Thank you, honey. I will check that out. I use Audible and stuff like that, but it's been a while. I really need to get back into reading. That's one of the things that I've kind of put to one side, at least in the last kind of 6 months. I used to be an avid reader, especially before I went to bed. It was a way of just kind of unwinding, but now there's always something else that needs to be done, so I don't seem to get a lot of time to sit down and read, but that's going to be one of my New Year's resolutions, to read more books. And to listen to more audiobooks as well. That would be pretty darn cool. Oops, it skips on me. Mark says, "Campy Batman, Adam West, Dark Knight Batman, Kevin Conroy." Agreed, absolutely. There's just something about him that did really well. Shane Nolan says, "Peter Weller did an older Batman voice. older Batman Bruce Wayne in the animated Dark Knight Returns. He did. And he did a really good job of it as well. Now, at the time when I watched that, I didn't realise it was Paul Weller. But I obviously went back and checked and looked at the credits, and I was really impressed with how he brought the character to life. So I thought it was really good too. I enjoyed it, I've got to admit. Let's see if we missed anything. But I think it's one of those things that I'm going to keep an eye on, definitely. I think it's one of those, and I'm kind of glad that they're not trying to reboot it as a animated series, if you know what I mean. If it's just audio dramas, I think it'll work much better. Because the DC animated has been kind of hit and miss recently, unfortunately. I did like the first part of The Long Halloween, because that's one of my favourite stories, but part 2 fell a little bit flat. It wasn't as good as the first part, unfortunately. Project Storytime that says the fact that the back of the Arkham box says written by Paul Dini, featuring the voices of Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. That sold me the game. Me too. As soon as I saw the trailer, I recognised the voices. Like, yes, the cast is back. That, and it was a great game. I think it was one of the first games to use the free flow combo when fighting, and it was just a really awesome game. I liked Arkham City as well. Arkham Origins, not so much, but they were still great games. But you can't really beat the first one. Mark says Bruce Greenwood did well, but there is only one true voice for Bats. Agreed. Ishard Melody, good to see you. He says kind of like a noir radio show would be excellent. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yes, like the old chapter plays, that kind of thing. Really, great cast, atmospheric music, sound effects. I can really see this being something that they could kind of get their teeth into and really have some fun with, especially the cast. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this is something that's going to be pretty awesome. And a massive thank you to Manowar665, Neighbour of the Beast. Thank you, sweetheart. He said, I read Robert E. Howard, Solomon Kane, or Conan every night before bed. Get some pulp in your life, sweetheart. Haven't read Solomon Kane, but I have read Conan. Absolutely. But again, if you recommend Solomon Kane, I will check it out. Thank you. Always looking for recommendations. So thank you, honey. Much appreciated for that. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. But you always bring some fantastic recommendations, so I really appreciate you. Thank you, guys. The other story that I wanted to talk a little bit about today was one that kind of surprised me and has just been announced. Now, you guys know that I am a big fan of Vikings. It was one of the shows that we enjoyed reviewing. I'll probably get back to it and finish the final season because it feels it's a bit of a shame. And I feel a little bit guilty that I never finished all of the reviews. So what I'll probably do is do them as kind of short videos, not live streams, but I will finish it and give my thoughts on the final season of Vikings. But Netflix has now confirmed that there is a spin-off coming. So it is called Vikings Valhalla. The new series is set 100 years after the original Vikings. So let's see what they've got to say. Netflix has revealed the release date for the upcoming Viking spin-off series, Vikings Valhalla, and has also dropped some brand new images too. The show, which is set a century after the main history series, brings on board Sam Corlett as Leif Erikson, Frida Gustafsson as Freyish Eriksdotter, and Leo Suter as Harold Sigurdsson. Netflix has now confirmed that Vikings Valhalla, which was made by the show's original creator, Michael Hurst, will arrive on the platform on February 25th, 2022. Additionally, a new set of official images. We got a taste of the conflict to come. So let me, if I share, let's see if I can bring it up and we can have a look at these pictures. And no spoilers in the chat, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna head back to Vikings because I do miss it, I've got to admit. So let's see if I can pull this up for you and we'll see. There we go. So let's have a look. It looks pretty cool, I gotta admit. I always liked Vikings, I've got to admit. There's something about it. And Michael Hurst, I thought, really did a good job at capturing the characters. I think some of the seasons ran a little bit too long. I thought the 5th season really didn't need to be cut into 2. I think that really messed up the kind of continuity, the flow. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. I thought the cast was great. So I'll be kind of curious to see what this is like. So very, very similar to what we had before, it looks. But we will see. Let's have a look. And we also had a teaser for the series back in September, which I did watch, but I was like, But this, fingers crossed, will be more interesting. The show's official synopsis reads, the all-new Vikings Valhalla begins in the early 11th century and chronicles the legendary adventures of some of the most famous Vikings who ever lived. Leif Erikson, Freydis Eriksdotter, Harold Hardrada, and the Norman King William the Conqueror, which is pretty interesting. I think that's one of the characters that people really wanted to see. These men and women will blaze a path as they fight for survival in the ever-changing and evolving world. So we have a lot of we've got the cast as well. And then it says, meanwhile, earlier this year, Vikings actor Eric Ludwig shared a social media clip to 2 fans raving about the show in the background while he was in a restaurant before revealing he went over to surprise them. He said these 2 were raving about Vikings, and I sat down about 10 feet away from them. Of course, I had to go up to them after to say thank you for making my damn day, he explains. They flipped, and it was absolutely awesome. That's actually really sweet. Not only that the fans were kind of raving about the show, that they were really into it and saying how much they loved it, but that he took time to kind of go over and say thank you and that they made his day. It seems like he made their day as well. So that's really sweet. That's a nice story, and I like nice stories like that. Let's take that down. Manowar665 says, "Don't forget Norseman." Norseman, as in the comic book? Because if so, yep, I've got it. Or Northman, that's the comic book. I've got that as well. Shane Nolan says, loved The Last Kingdom. I liked The Last Kingdom as well. I thought it was pretty good, to be honest. It wasn't as fun as Vikings, I thought, but it was still a good drama, I've got to admit. Sentient Dildo says The Last Kingdom is good too. I liked it, I've got to admit. Ishab and Loaded says, I was kind of late to the Vikings party. Had to go on the ordered on Wish version, The Last Kingdom. Oh, you can still go back and watch it. That's fine. It's still worth watching, as I say. The seasons aren't too long because I think each season is about 12 episodes. So you could probably get through them within a couple of weeks and you'll be all caught up and ready to go for the new series. Oh my god. So Cindy Dildo also said they also gave Liv's American storyline to Ragnar in, yeah, we will see. I'd be curious to see where they go, but I do like the idea that they're now going to focus on William the Conqueror. I think that's going to be really, really interesting to see. And hello, Daniel. Good to see you. It says, hello, Purple. Hope you're well. I'm doing okay, thank you. I'm doing all right today. Thank you very much. Oh, my God. Let's see. think actually, guys, that's pretty much all I was going to talk about today. Might be a bit of a shorter one today. But before we close up for the day, what I have got to mention, because I think I mentioned it on Friday, but I want to give everybody a reminder, guys. Tonight on Loki's channel, we have got the December movie watch party. So it will be at 6 p.m. Central, and we are going to be watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which I'm really excited about. I love that film. It is one of those films that I watch every year, and I can't think of a better one to watch as a group. So, guys, if you would like to join us, I would love to see everybody there. It's going to be a really fun time. Love getting to do the movie watch parties. Shane Nolan says, awesome movie. It is an awesome movie, absolutely. And let me say a massive thank you and good morning to Mexican Iron Man. Hello, Poppy. Uh, it says, few know the great tales of the Mayan Aztec conquering people who did not have boats or advanced weapons, but were able to use their God-given man spears, in quotations, to replicate their taco warrior numbers. Mexican Iron Man, I hope you've trademarked that idea, because that would be absolutely brilliant. That's a show I need to see. Please. So that would be amazing. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man, and good morning to you as always. Good to see you. Oh my god, he says, ha, absolutely. So, guys, I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut it a little bit short today, if that's okay. Short and sweet today. I just wanted to try and get through a few stories, a few things that kind of caught my eye. Really, really curious about the Batman animated audio drama. I think that's probably the thing that I'm most excited about. Looking forward to seeing Morbius. Fingers crossed that it's a fun film. I think it's, like I said, it's going to be in the similar vein of the first Venom film. So that should be pretty cool. I do like Morbius as a character. And we will see what it's like. Mark says, I want a Mexican Iron Man, the animated series. Only if Mexican Iron Man voices his character. Except no substitutes in that regard. So, guys, have a fantastic Monday. A huge thank you to everybody who joined today. Big thank you to everybody who sent super chats. You guys are amazing as always. I will, fingers crossed, be back later on this evening, and we're going to have some fun on Loki's channel. And then, as always, I will be back on Wednesday. Not sure what I'm going to do Wednesday. I've got an idea, but I've got to see if it falls into place. And on Wednesday also, we will be having Pink and Purple in the afternoon, but this week it will be over on Arwin's channel. So, guys, have a fantastic day. Have a wonderful Monday. And I hope to see you guys all soon. Be good to each other. Take care, guys. Mwah.